Hello everyone, and welcome to my live highlights for the gym battle, the first one. The title, of course, is Ash versus Wulfric, the battle for the match. No, hold on. The title of the match is Snowbell Gym Match, a battlefield device. So let's go ahead and jump right into this reaction of it, or the highlights of my reaction anyway. So let's go ahead and click play, and before I click play, it looks like Ash is in Snowbell City. Yep. There's Sawyer, Clement, Bonnie. A bunch of trees. Oh, this is like the previous episode. Oh, there goes Bonnie. They're talking about Greninja for whatever reason. Oh, I thought the opening was going to be right there. Oh, looks like they're just getting to the gym. Well, of course it's the gym. Sawyer's been here before. Yep, talking about the Pokemon League. Oh, Sawyer feels like he's part of the family. Now the opening starts. Oh, was that a spoiler? No, I'm just kidding. Oh. Alright, here we go. Title. Oh, gym battle? Or gym... gym battle. Hey, look, it's a picture of a gym battle. It looks like in the shape of a building. Oh. Ooh, what's going on? Bergmite. Ash isn't getting Bergmite. It's from Tron. That's a weird random appearance for Bergmite. But, whatever. Oh, there's Wulfric. Wow. Wulfric has a weird Japanese name. I keep forgetting about it. Huh, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Huh. Wulfric asks how many badges Serena had. That was kind of rude, Ash. Ash just shoved his jacket and backpack at Serena. That was kind of rude. The gym battle's starting now? Ooh. This referee is weird. Okay, so Halucha is first. Abomasnow is first? Okay. That's strange. Oh, it's using Snowstorm? Or Snore Warning? Oh, maybe Talonflame will take out Abomasnow. Oh, nice. That was a very super effective hit. Flying Press does 4 times damage against Abomasnow. Oh, high jump kick? Ooh. Wood Hammer? It's not going to be very effective, Wulfric. I would have used Scissor Cross instead. Oh! Halucha just beat Abomasnow. I was not expecting that at all. Yeah, I don't think Halucha's going to win. Avalug. Karate Chop. Oh, there goes Halucha. Oh, not quite. Oh. Avalug has Ice Body? I like how Wulfric explained that. That was really awesome. Avalug. Ability. Ice Body. Pretty much. Just in Japanese terms. Ooh. What move was that? That's not... Oh, Hail. Oh. Was that Gyro Ball? Can Avalug learn Gyro Ball? Halucha's out. Flame Charge. Oh, is it using Avalanche? It shouldn't knock out. Talonflame should still be okay because of Stone Edge. Alright. Come on, Talonflame. You can't be knocked out by one ice attack. Because, seriously? Ooh, okay. Ooh. Yep, Talonflame's down. That doesn't make any sense. Talonflame is fire. But whatever. I guess Savalug is that strong? I mean, it does do neutral damage, I guess. Oh, it's the end of the battle. Thank you for watching. No, just kidding. Both are done. Look. Can't believe someone left the commercials in. Come on, that's poor editing. Okay, I just wanted to say... I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh well. Alright, back in the battle. Oh yeah, Ash and Greninja aren't having the wristbands. Okay, I don't know why Hale is still out. Really? Oh, it was Gyro Ball. Okay. Ooh. Use Water Shuriken for the water. Yeah. I was about to say, Ash, why aren't you using any strategy or tactics that you're known for? But not bad. I have a feeling that Greninja is going to become Ash Greninja right here. And they're going to beat Avalug. And then Wulfric's going to send out his second Pokemon. Or his last Pokemon, which is going to be like Cryogonal or something. Called him Ash Greninja. And then afterwards, Ash is going to pass out. Ooh. More Stone Edge. Oh, Greninja got hit. Avalug is very strong. Why aren't you using Water Shuriken? Ooh, Ash is passing out. Greninja's knocked out? Really? Huh. Not sure how I feel about that. I didn't feel like it made any sense. Especially with the whole battle against Diantha. So I was wrong. I could have swore that... Sawyer's leaving now? Really? Well, I guess they want to keep Ash Greninja's unwater-veiled form a secret from Sawyer, I guess. Alright. Whatever. Or Sawyer's done with Ash. You suck as a trainer. Bye. Looks like the next time they'll meet is in the league, probably. Well, that's the end of Sawyer for now. I think Ash may have held back. So this leads up into the next episode. Wow, Ash was pretty upset. Okay. Oh, interesting. I'm not sure I buy Wulfric being able to handle Ash Greninja more than Diantha. But, you know, it's whatever. Well, that was a strange way to lose a gym battle. Pokemon! 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 Hello everyone, I'm Dustin, Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon XY&Z anime discussion. Today we're going to discuss the gym battle against Wulfric, the first one, of course. So let's go into this. And when I said strange, I do really mean that something was off about this gym battle, this episode in general. It was very strange. And I won't go into the gym battle too much. I won't go in depth like Ash versus Sawyer. In fact, looking at my notes, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be one of the shorter videos, but there are some things that do need to be addressed, and so maybe I'll talk a little bit more than what I have in my notes. So let's go ahead and talk about the episode to begin with. So probably already seen my reaction to it. You can see what I said in a lot of those instances, but so basically, just to recap, the battle basically begins with, as pretty much in the last episode where they reached Nobel City, in the previous episode where they continued on from the last episode. I kind of like episodes like that where they do that as opposed to just the end of in a sunset and then all of a sudden, hey, we're in Snowbell City or whatever. It's really nice that they actually continued from the previous episode. So then, of course, we actually saw a Bergmite in this episode when the group went to Snowbell Gym. They ran into a couple of Bergmites or whatever. I think they were like guarding the gym or something. So then there's that. And then, of course, I have to mention this. I'm not really sure. This is if you... I think I may have said this in my when I was watching the video that you may have seen. I think I may have responded to this, and I wasn't exactly too happy about it. But when they got in there and introduced themselves and Ash was getting ready to battle, there was a moment where there may have been rude behavior by Ash. Now, it's not entirely confirmed that this was rude, but when I saw it, it did come off as rude. And it was when he gave Serena his bag and his jacket and was like, here, hold these, or whatever. Like, whoa, geez, you could have at least maybe done that a little bit better or whatever. So the thing that I want to say about this is if he was rude about this or whatever, he has been rude in the past in a lot of instances, so it has been in character to be rude in these instances. Like, I remember in the Battle Frontier, after Ash lost to Nurse Joy in trying to prepare for his rematch with Brandon, he basically told his friends to shut up, basically, in a very angry, frustrated way or whatever, because he was not happy with what was going on. So it's not necessarily out of character for Ash to be this rude or whatever, but what does seem to be out of character in this particular moment, I would have to say, is his rudeness behavior in this particular instance, because it doesn't seem like it's very justified, because Ash is like, here, take this, I've got this battle, dun 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 dun, or something like that, and I'm like, you just horribly lost to Sawyer in the very previous episode because you weren't exactly up to snuff, and now you're going up against a gym leader and you're being overconfident and cocky. You know, Ash has been cocky before, and it's something that's happened. Like when he was battling against Drake, he like beat a Scizor with his Torkoal in Advanced Generation, and then the Hoenn Elite Four Drake came by, and Ash was being all cocky, like, yeah, I've got this, I could beat an Elite Four, or whatever. But in this instance, he just lost to Sawyer in a horrible fashion or whatever. So I'm not quite understanding why Ash is being cocky and overconfident in this particular moment, where he like basically rudely hands his jacket and bag to Serena, is like, I've got this. Now, of course, I might be misinterpreting what I saw or whatever, so it's possible that it was just normal and it was something that happened abruptly, like, here's my stuff or whatever, and that's why Serena's like, what? Or whatever. So yeah, it's just, this episode was weird. That's what I'm going to say about that. So we get into the battle. I just want to let you know I don't know if I'm disappointed or intrigued by the fact that there was no versus screen. I don't know if that was the animators and writers' way of saying that this battle really was a poor imitation of a battle. That's why they didn't bother with the versus screen. Or were they just too lazy and not put a versus screen on or whatever? Let's jump right into the gym match or whatever. So basically we get Hawlucha versus Abomasnow, which was pretty epic battle in of itself, and it was nice seeing Hawlucha jump around all over and then managing to flying press and using high jump kick or whatever. And it was really nice that, of course, Hawlucha beat Abomasnow. That was a really nice touch, because the way that I had interpreted everything that we knew, I thought Avalugg was going to be sent out first, and it was going to be this very difficult battle, but eventually Avalugg would be defeated, and then we would get this Abomasnow, and then everything would go horribly wrong for Ash in that, and he would keep losing, but they did it in a understandable, explainable way, because we weren't sure how it was going to happen, because we did see Ash Greninja versus Avalugg, so then I was like, wait, how does that work? How do we get Ash, Halucha, and Avalugg if right after the battle was Abomasnow or whatever? So luckily, Abomasnow came first, and it was just Halucha versus Abomasnow, which was very interesting, nice touch or whatever. So yeah. And then, of course, when Avalugg came out and it was just a Halucha, of course, we get this Gyro Ball being Gyro Ball, which was pretty epic. It was interesting to see Avalugg using Gyro Ball. That kind of made it look like an ice cyclone or something, or whatever you want to call it. And then basically knocking out his opponents based on that or whatever. So then, of course, there's Talonflame losing to Avalugg, of course, because afterwards Ash sent out Talonflame. And honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about this. It wasn't so much that Talonflame lost to Avalugg that I have a problem with, but I think Talonflame lost to the wrong move because it wasn't Stone Edge. You would think that if anything was going to knock Talonflame out during a battle against Avalugg, it probably would have been Stone Edge, which is something Avalugg did have, and it makes sense after all. It takes neutral damage for ice attacks, and since Gyro Ball is a steel type, it would have resisted that move. But that's not what happened. Talonflame just took a major hit with Avalanche twice, and then got knocked out as a result of that. So then, of course, we get Greninja, of course, we get the Greninja battle or whatever, and I'd have to say this was kind of weird because not only was it kind of like a fast transformation to get into Ash Greninja, I think relatively speaking it was the fastest it ever took to get Greninja to become Ash Greninja. But the problem is that it doesn't make any sense that Ash Greninja just came out of nowhere. There was no battle pulse. They didn't have their things to detect their battle pulses or whatever. They obviously didn't want to add that to it, and it was just a strange thing to see. And yeah, this whole battle was strange. This whole episode was strange. But anyway, and then of course the weird thing was Ash Greninja didn't even tie or beat Avalugg. It straight out lost. And then of course we got this weird scene of Ash reacting the same way that he does, like passing out basically or whatever. And it was like, really? So Avalugg just beat 3 Pokemon randomly, because it had high defenses, and of course there was the whole Ice Body and Hail going on. It was just... And then that wasn't the end of the episode. Then of course we got like some Ash drama, Sawyer drama, everything drama basically. Everything felt so weird and not normal for some reason or whatever. So, and then what was up with Sawyer's sour reaction after saying goodbye to Ash? It was like, he was like all excited, and then all of a sudden he gets like really sour, like he's like angry or something, like, or whatever, and then like looking back or whatever, and I'm like, what? And then Ash was so upset as well, grabbing his stuff and going into the woods alone to be left alone. And, from what I understand, there wasn't a lot of translations for this episode, so I'm not entirely sure. But one weird thing is, supposedly when Ash was talking to Greninja, based from what I've read, and this is not entirely confirmed, but basically Ash said that he told Greninja that he failed him. Ash failed Greninja, and of course there was a preview, maybe the Pokénechi preview or whatever, where Ash it was a repeat of the scene, but Greninja was actually paying attention or whatever. So yeah, it's very strange or whatever. Without understanding what happened in this particular episode and in the Sawyer episode, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be completely lost as to what's going on, and it was very confusing. So I'm not entirely sure I liked it because it was so weird to understand, but it's whatever basically. So what I did like about this episode, because I can't really say if I liked or disliked this episode outside of certain things, but what I did like about this episode is, of course, Halucha beating Abomasnow, which I believe makes up for its loss against Clawitzer in the episode. And because Hawlucha beat Abomasnow, I feel like this feels like a nice gym conclusion for Hawlucha, so Hawlucha doesn't need to be in the rematch because it already beat Abomasnow, and based on what I feel like the episode's going to turn out, I have this strange feeling that Hawlucha, maybe even Talonflame, are going to be cannon fodder in the very next battle in the rematch if they're going to be used, and it's just going to be all about Ash Greninja. So I'm not really sure I like that, and I feel like if Hawlucha is going to be used just to lose without a win, it's going to undermine its victory against Abomasnow. Just like how when Ash rematched Viola, I feel Fletchling's loss undermined its win against Surskit in the first gym battle because Pikachu had to take everything. But whatever will happen, whatever the matchups will happen, it's just going to happen, so I'm just going to have to deal with it, but I still would prefer Hawlucha not being used. A lot of people are like, well, Ash has never really changed up his team for rematches and stuff, so why would he do it now? That would make sense if you were talking about Talonflame, but Hawlucha already beat Abomasnow. It already proved that it was a strong Pokemon. No need to shove it again just so it can get a loss, because look, as I said, look at what happened to Fletchling. Fletchling was supposed to go in there and take out Vivian, but because for whatever reason Pikachu had to be the MVP rather than Fletchling, Pikachu went in there, knocked out Surskit, and then was traded in for Fletchling. Fletchling pretty much lost in the same exact manner, and it was up to Pikachu again. So I'm not exactly happy about that, especially when you consider that the first match Pikachu lost without anything, so its victory over Vivillon didn't seem like it was justified. But I'm just saying, it would be nice if Hawlucha was traded out for Pikachu or even Noivern. So basically, this note I've already said multiple times or whatever, but it was definitely a strange episode, as I've said multiple times by now, or whatever, but I don't know why Ash felt out of sync in his battle against Wulfric, and I don't necessarily mean out of sync like somehow Ash Greninja was defying the laws of what was understood about it. I'm not saying he was out of sync of Greninja. I just feel like Ash in general was out of sync to his usual battling style, because I mean, there was some nice moments of Greninja using Water Shuriken to freeze Avalugg so it couldn't use Gyro Ball, so then Ash Greninja can go in there and attack, but nothing really happened as a result of that. Greninja still lost, and I feel like Ash was suffering maybe from his loss against Sawyer, which means that's probably why he didn't do so very well in this particular episode. That's my only guess. Otherwise, I can't really explain why I felt weird about this episode. It didn't feel like a normally written gym battle in the gym battles or whatever. I guess that's all I can say. So, also, one thing that I can say I do not like is how Avalugg survived so long, especially with the infinite long hail for whatever reason, which we know shouldn't be a case. Hail should only be a certain amount of turns, and considering hail was introduced when Abomasnow was introduced because of snow warning, my issue then becomes, why did the entirety of the battle with Hawlucha versus Abomasnow, that's fine. Hail could have been just a few more things in regards to Avalugg or whatever, just have it be an ice body or whatever. But throughout the whole entire battle of Hawlucha, Talonflame, and even Ash Greninja, hail was still going. And I don't know if it was because the gym battle was made of ice and somehow that made more realistic sense while hail was basically permanent or whatever, but I still didn't like how it seemed like hail was like lasting throughout the whole entire battle. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not supposed to last that long. I mean, we already had a very long trick room against Valerie, which I don't think necessarily should have been as long as it was when Fletchender was trying to knock out Spritzy or whatever, but I don't know why Hail lasted as long as it did, which was multiple battles. It was like the whole entirety of Abomasnow versus Hawlucha. Okay, maybe Hawlucha Snow Warning lasts until it gets knocked out or whatever, and then it just keeps going a little bit more. But then you would think that it would have definitely ended at some point against Ash Greninja, and Ash Greninja would have made use of it. So I don't know if they were doing this just to give Ash more of a challenge, because with high defenses that Avalugg definitely has, along with Ice Body healing after taking damage, it does seem like it would extend the battle. But I feel like this may have been too close, similar to what happened with Brandon versus Regice. The difference is that Regice would freeze Pikachu, for example. Actually, I think it only battled Pikachu because I think Bulbasaur and Solrock tied, I believe. So I think it was just Pikachu and Regice, and the one thing that I dislike about that battle, which is why I'm perfectly fine with the one-hit KO from Volt Tackle at the end, is because there was like nothing Ash could do to properly counter Brandon's strategy of using Ice Beam to freeze Pikachu and then using Rest, and then by the time Pikachu could attack, Rest was completely over and Regice woke up and was ready to battle and freeze Pikachu against Rest. I feel like that was a very cheap tactic for Brandon to keep doing over and over again. I mean, it made sense, but you would have thought that at the very least it wouldn't have worked anymore, because Ash would have come up the counter, like being able to dodge the Ice Beam or whatever and keep wailing on Regice, and there would be like no position where Regice would be able to rest, and that was like the whole entire point. So it was like, no, just get it over with. Have Pikachu use its strongest attack and knock out Regice, because that battle was not very well written to begin with. And I feel like it was like the same here almost, and I hope that Ash has a way to counter this in his rematch, because I definitely do not want something like this to happen where there's hail and it's going or whatever, and then the Pokemon are using attacks, physical attacks for defense stats or whatever, and then Ice Body like heals all of Avalugg's attacks or the damage that it's done, and then it just extends the battle. And then of course one of the Pokemon uses a powerful attack, like maybe Hawlucha hypothetically using High Jump Kick, Talonflame, maybe it learns Flare Blitz or something, and then all of a sudden Avalugg is knocked out, and then everyone's like, no, that was cheap, that doesn't make any sense, no, what kind of battle is that, or whatever. I definitely don't want something like that, because I feel like that's going to happen because of it. So, regardless of however I felt about this particular episode, this particular gym battle, I can definitely say that I am looking forward to the rematch, because it definitely should be better, and hopefully it will be better. But I'm not going to increase my expectations unrealistically and expect that it's going to be a fantastic battle or whatever. But, maybe the next gym battle, because it is written by Tomioka like this one, maybe it'll have a little bit more direction and will actually be a little bit better. Speaking of which, I have to wonder if, since Tomioka did write this, I wonder if he had a problem finding out what direction he wanted to go to in regards to this, and he was like, oh, okay, so I'm going to do this, and then as he's writing, he's like, no, okay, we're going to do this, okay, we're going to do this, and then it just like, maybe that's why the episode was off, is because it kind of feels like it was supposed to go in these various directions or whatever, but then something happened and it was like rewritten appropriately or whatever. So I feel maybe that's maybe that's why it was so off to me, is because I feel like there was all these directions that it could have gone that would have made a lot of sense, but it just didn't seem to
go that direction. It didn't seem to go that way. So basically it was like, oh, wait, we're almost here. We have to create a conclusion or whatever. Oh, but we need to make this the Greninja arc and Ash Greninja arc or whatever, you know, and then just writing that in. Maybe that's what happened. But I don't know. I guess we'll just never know what was going on when Tomioka wrote this in regards to everything else. So I guess we'll just move on. I guess that's the end of this particular episode. I don't think there's anything that I want to discuss or say. So if you want me to further explain how I felt about this episode, just ask questions in the comment section below or whatever. So anyway, let's move on to the preview. Now, I would love to show you my reaction to the preview because it's like, oh, hey, this is interesting. But I didn't actually see the full preview. The preview was cut off and the video basically ended, so I didn't exactly see the full preview. But I will say this, when it was amazing. When I saw the preview, the shortened preview that I saw, it was amazing. It was completely musicless, and then it felt like there was no dialogue because I didn't see the full preview, and then it just ended. It was like, oh, that's it? I mean, in retrospect, I should have realized that it was short because I think they showed the title screen, and I don't remember seeing the title screen, and that'd make sense since they would have shown that at the end of the preview. But when I actually did see the full preview on TV Tokyo's YouTube page or whatever, it was then, oh, there's that somber Ash narration, I believe, that was talking about the episode or whatever, and it was very nice. I really like how there was like no music and hardly any dialogue going on outside of the somber, or whatever you want to call it, narration that Ash's voice actress was doing at the end or whatever. And so it was really nice, you know. It was just like interesting to hear this like blizzard or snowstorm sound effect in the background as placement of the actual music or whatever. It was like really nice ambiance, and it was like something that you would have expected to see in situations like this. So I'm kind of looking forward to next episode. Not really Team Rocket, of course, but of course they haven't been in an episode for a couple of episodes now, so I'm sure their voice actors are itching to get right back into having an episode. But at the very least, even if Team Rocket are not needed, not necessarily necessary, at least if they are going to appear in this episode, maybe we can hope that they don't show up in the gym battle following the rematch or whatever, because that would definitely not be cool. You know, maybe I would be fine with Team Rocket and Team Flare, a little bit of extra story in regards to the rematch against Wulfric, but otherwise I'm thinking no, let's not have that. Let's just have Ash battling, getting his final gym battle, because I do think we do know that Team Rocket is going to be in the Carbink Gudra Dedenne episode. So yeah, if they needed to be in this episode just for some sort of voice acting reason or something, better it be the next episode with the snowstorm and the bewildering woods, or whatever it's called in English. And we'll deal with that rather than, of course, in the gym battle following episode. So anyway, there is some scenes that I want to show. I don't know if I'm going to show you all of the scenes, but here's everything that was in the preview of the one that was shown on Thursday or whatever. So, of course, we have Ash in a cave. It was just a very small scene or whatever, just seeing Ash in the cave or whatever, and there was like snow blowing. And then, of course, there was the next one, which was Serena, Bonnie, Clement, Pikachu, and Braixen in a cave by a fire pit or whatever. And I think Serena was talking at that moment, but of course, with the ambiance of the snowstorm sounds, we didn't, of course, hear any dialogue, and so I think that was the point of the preview, was even though there would be dialogue in the actual episode, the preview just wanted to make the episode feel all somber and quiet and stuff. So we did see that, and then of course we see Greninja looking for Ash, you know, jumping off of trees, looking for Ash because of what I said before. We did see that there was that Pokénechi preview where Ash may have said, "I failed you, Greninja," before walking out, and Greninja was like upset about this and doesn't blame Ash at all for whatever happens, and that they just need to work together, and that may be the plot of this particular episode. So then, of course, we see Zygarde 10% form going after Ash probably or whatever, looking for Ash as well. I don't know if anyone's going to see Puny-chan becoming Zygarde 10% form, but it would be interesting, or Puny-chan just leaves for a moment and becomes Zygarde 10% form just to look for Ash. But I guess we'll have to see or whatever what's going to happen with that. So, and then in the following scene, of course, we see Ash looking fairly normal, not very upset, not extremely happy, just like normal, smiling with Greninja. So it looks like at that particular moment, Ash has gotten over whatever is bothering him at this moment, and like the summary says, or I think it was in the next episode, the gym battle or whatever, where he found something in the forest or whatever to explain whatever's going on, and maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why he has a different personality, so to speak, when we see him with Greninja. The final one is Ash Greninja without its veil, and then we see this cool light effect, and it kind of looks like someone opening their eyes for the first time or whatever, like the light that surges in or whatever, and it's very cool effect, and I think it's very related to the title, of course, which of course is The Awakening of Evolution, or whatever I believe it is. The Winding Woods. The Dawn of Evolution. So at least we'll definitely see that, and I think that's a really nice touch that the preview did. And of course, since it's in the preview, we're probably going to see this as well. So hopefully this will be a nice conclusion episode to the Ash Greninja arc or whatever, where the form is fully mastered, or pretty much can be mastered, and then we'll see that mastering of the form in the gym battle against Wulfric. So then, of course, after that, we get the rematch. Of course, I already mentioned that. And then after the rematch of Ash getting his gym battle, of course, we get Goodra, Dedenne, and Carbink. Whatever's going to happen in that. Will Ash capture Carbink? I don't know. Will Goodra be like, yes, I'm ready to join you for the league. Just call this Keenan guy or whatever his name is and send my Pokeball to the Pokemon League so we can do this. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. We have a Pancham episode afterwards, I believe, from the data broadcast. And then, of course, we have a Charizard data broadcast down the line. We are getting strange. We're like, this is like one of 3 episodes that we know in regards to the Winding Woods episode, the Bewildering Forest or whatever, where maybe Ash Greninja will be mastered, and then we have the gym battle, and then we have the Carbink Dedenne episode. So, yeah, it's kind of weird that we don't have any episodes after that, and TV Tokyo hasn't updated scenes of anything else. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen there or whatever. So I'm thinking the Team Flare, if I had to guess what's going to happen, I'm going to say that the Team Flare arc is going to be like right after or very close, very soon, and then eventually we're going to get into the League, and then maybe we'll get into some conclusion of all the characters, and then I expect we get into Sun and Moon or whatever. So that's basically what I expect. Maybe we'll see next month in June. We'll get Pokemon Fan, hopefully, and maybe that'll explain what's going to happen in the anime relatively soon or whatever. I'm expecting Pokemon Fan, if it is next month, if it does happen, I'm expecting them to show off the Team Flare climax and show interesting moments in regards to Team Flare or whatever. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Also, even though this isn't really anime-related news, there is going to be information on Pokemon Sun and Moon on June 2nd that I will be there. It'll be Thursday, actually, it looks like. So I will be making a video then as well. That'll also be the gym battle. So I'll have a lot of videos to make during that. The review for the gym battle, all the information that's going to be revealed on that. That's like a horrible day for Pokemon information. See, Wednesday or Friday or Tuesday, Monday, that would have been great, but the same day that I probably will do live highlights for the rematch of the gym battle, it's whatever. So anyway, I might make a Sun and Moon video this coming week or whatever. You'll just have to wait and see, and it'll probably just be information that was revealed, and I'll talk about it, so I can have like a preparation Sun and Moon video for the information that we're probably going to get on June 2nd, if it's anything interesting. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to say in this particular video, so thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.